backstage brings you the one, the only, Bill, the real deal Dodge. Woo! Come on down, Bill.
I get a bottle of water too?
I know, look, that's free too. I ain't gonna charge you for that.
Yes.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm awesome.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. We get to see each other at all the events, but very seldom do people get to actually learn about the man behind the facade that is Bling Cycles. I got here with me today Bill Dodge from Bling Cycles. Bill is just a great, genuine guy to get to know, and so I hope you will take the time as you see him around the show to stop him and talk to him. He's a good guy. Bill, a lot of people have been in and out of the custom motorcycle world as you and I have watched them over the years.
Yeah.
I know my first event, I built a bike and rode to Sturgis in 1985. I was 16 years old. And man, I know that you've been around for a long time too. We just watched them all kind of come and go, but you've been around and stuck through it. It's a passion for you, and I appreciate that. But
I went to Sturgis a few years after you, though.
After, yeah.
91 was my first year.
Oh, it was 91, yeah. So, what's your first memory of motorcycles? You didn't just all of a sudden get into it. What was your first memory?
My dad had a BSA 441.
Yeah.
And it was his, and I tried to pretend like it was mine.
Yeah.
I had to steal it from him once in a while, things like that. And then he had an iron head that my dad's not a mechanic or anything like me, but he's 80 years old right now and still riding his motorcycle. He met me in Austin for a ride.
Yeah.
But he had an iron head that with struts on it, and all his buddies had big twins and all this stuff, and he would ride. We lived in California. Yeah. He would ride to Arizona and different places on his little iron head, and made me realize that you kind of got to be a badass to do it. So
man.
I'm gonna give it a whirl and play with them, and I just started playing with them when I was a kid, and just.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
That's how it happened.
Yeah, so your dad got you to it. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And riding an Ironhead Sportster for you, those of you that haven't done it, if you've never done it, you need to get on one and try to blast cross country. I live in Georgia. I rode from Atlanta, Georgia to Sturgis, South Dakota years ago on a rigid frame Ironhead Sportster. I never got over 60 miles an hour, I don't think.
Yeah.
So it was a brutal ride.
Yeah.
So I've grown up since then. But
yeah. My first big ride was I rode to Laughlin from my house in California, and then Sturgis the same year in '91 I had a 78, maybe it was a little later than that. 81 Sturgis Special.
Oh, yeah.
And I cut it up and put it in a 57 frame and everything before I started taking those trips, and that's what I took those trips on.
Nice.
And it was a blast.
It makes it fun though. It makes it more of an adventure when you're riding something that isn't necessarily easy to ride. So,
it was fun.
Yeah, I remember that trip I stopped. That was the first trip I found out that points out of an old Chevy would work in that Ironhead Sportster.
They sure do.
And
they still work in our Magnetos.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, you grew up in California.
Yeah.
Then you moved. When did you move to the East Coast?
Well, I was working for Mr. Fancy Pants for a long time there, and about 2004, late 2004, early 2005, me and Mr. Wonderful had a disagreement, and I just swept the Jersey. I just left.
Yeah.
I didn't care about nothing. I filled up a truck with little stuff I had, and I found me a little shop in the corner. And Indian Larry had told me if I ever left that place that I should be on the East Coast because people care about motorcycles here.
Yeah.
And they would care about the way I do it. Not necessarily if you're big and fancy, but if you do it by hand and you really love it, they will embrace you. And that's exactly what has happened to me.
That's awesome. And so that was when Bling Cycles kind of came.
Yeah, I didn't open Bling Cycles till 2005.
Till 2005.
Beginning of 2005.
2005. And,
and now I've been, 10 years?
Yeah.
10 years on my own, haven't had a real job yet, and somehow I'm still eating.
That's great.
My girl and I, we can still eat once in a while.
Well,
anyway.
that's good. That's good. It looks like you're eating more than her. So
Yeah, I eat a lot more than her.
You might want to start pushing some of that food to the other side of the table.
She makes good stuff, bro.
I tell you. Now, so you were in Jersey.
Yeah.
And now you've located your shop down here in Florida.
Yeah, I was in Jersey for about 5 years, and I got to the point in the industry where a lot was coming from other countries and stuff, and everybody's calling that an American motorcycle and all this stuff. And don't get me wrong, I like all motorcycles, but if you're going to call it American motorcycle, better be made here every piece.
Yeah.
And I started struggling with that, so I kind of just took myself a little break. I moved to Kentucky for a couple years, and luckily that's where I met my wife Denise at, and
awesome.
Love of my life. And I just took a little break and fished for a little while. I built motorcycles still, but kind of hid out for a couple years.
Yeah.
Still did stuff. And then about 3 or 4 years ago, I moved to Daytona Beach, and it's wide open.
Wide open?
Wide open. It's so much fun. By the way, if any of you guys get out there, there's a party right before Willie's on Daytona Beach at my shop, so
yeah,
anybody can come.
I missed that this year too. I got down there late. So.
It's wide open, buddy. It's a lot of fun.
Man, I got to get down there this year. Hey, now you've got 5 bikes here.
Yeah, I brought 4 for the showcase area out front so people can see, and then I put 1 in the competition. A very important bike is in the competition to me.
All right.
I don't know, you know John Green from Easy Riders. He's was a great friend of mine, and he passed last year, and I bought his bike, his 52, and the white bike out there, Egret, is for him. That's his ride home.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's what's so important about that bike to me.
Well, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about you, Bill. You and I didn't cross paths until this past year, which was weird to me.
Yeah.
That we knew all the same people and it never. But it's a small world, but still, it's a world. I mean, we're all so busy. You can't know everybody. But
we knew each other.
Yeah.
We just didn't know each other.
One of the things that I have always appreciated about you, and now having gotten to know you a little bit better, but your reputation is that you're very genuine, and you care about the community of motorcyclists and that's where my heart is. I do a lot of stuff in the motorcycle industry to make money, but I do it so that I can help other people. I try to do that, but I appreciate that about you. I mean, it's about keeping our lifestyle going. It's about the motorcycles and the people that love them, and so I appreciate that about you.
For one thing about me is that if you ever got a bike from me, or meet me as in a business sense, you're not a customer for more than about 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, you're my friend. And I mean, there's a guy out here someplace, one of the red bike out there. I met Frank and his family a couple of years ago at Daytona. Just walked up and started talking to each other, not the bikes. Now I've built him that red bike, and we go to everywhere together. He's one of my best friends in the world.
Yeah,
and
that's great.
2 years ago, we didn't know each other from Adam.
Well, and Bill's the kind of guy. I introduced him to a friend of mine from Colorado in Sturgis this past year, Stephen Elms. I don't think he ended up taking the bars because they didn't fit his bike, but the dimensions were off for his bike. But Bill meets my buddy Steve, and he says, "Oh, you know him?" And Steve's like, "Yeah, we're friends." And he said, Steve didn't have cash on him. He said, "Well, just take the bars and just send me the cash later. You can mail it to me." I mean, he just genuinely, he's one of the few people in the world that you'll still trust people, and I like that about you. So now, what's your next big thing? Have you got some? Are you working on anything cool right now?
I'm building a no paint bike for Michael Lichter's exhibit, and that will be, I'll tell the world now, it'll be a 1937 all aluminum knucklehead.
Oh.
That's real special to me, and you guys will see a lot of that because I'll be riding to your shows with it.
Awesome.
As soon as I finish the bike, long before Michael Lichter's exhibit, I'm riding that bike to California and back, and then I'll ride it to Sturgis where the show is, and then he can show it off. But I'm putting probably 10,000 miles on it in 2 trips before he even sees the bike.
Now, Michael Lichter, for you guys, a lot of people know him. He's kind of the motorcycle photographer in the world. He started off actually being allowed in the 70s to photograph the Hells Angels, kind of really document kind of the inside life of the Hells Angels. But Michael now lives in Boulder, Colorado, and he does an exhibit every year at the Buffalo Chip in Sturgis, South Dakota. He has an art exhibit with motorcycles, and he always features certain things. And so that's Bill will have a bike.
This year it'll be all raw, and I think there's about 30 of us invited, and the people that are invited you wouldn't believe. I don't know why I'm in it, but Harley-Davidson is going to make a prototype bike for it.
Really?
Yeah, and things like that.
Deal.
So it'll be a lot of fun, and really neat to see what everybody else comes up with.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So
it'll be a lot of fun.
And your shop, you've got a website. It's Bling Cycles.
BlingCycles.com, and my shop is right on Beach Street in Daytona Beach. I'm easy to find. You could ask the street sleepers where I'm at; they'll tell you, and everybody knows me.
So he's a Florida boy now, and so willing to do that. You make parts though. What are your parts line consist of?
My parts line really consists of, there's a few things that I produce, and most of it is call me on the telephone and tell me what you can dream up and I'll make it for you.
Yeah.
That's more like me. I would prefer to, if you got a vision or if you see one of my parts on my bike and you want one of those, I'll make you one.
That's awesome. So so check out, the bikes here, and it really, he's just got cool stuff that will fit, on any kind of bike. And that's what the other thing about your bikes is they really are timeless with the way you build them. You can see one that you built 10 years ago and see one that you built yesterday, and you can see it again in 20 years and they'll be timeless. So
yeah, I like them a lot. I'm very proud of them.
You're very proud. They're all like your children, I'm sure.
Yeah, they are. If one comes up for sale, I try to either get it from the customer or talk one of my friends that maybe has a few more bucks than me into saving it so it can't go nowhere.
Well, I joked as I was telling folks you were going to be up here, the custom bike world, everybody has looked at, everybody in the that rides motorcycles thinks that custom bike builders are all millionaires,
Yeah.
This really is something. They're artists.
Come on.
It's something that you do it for the love of it, not because you're going to make a lot of money doing it. So
for 6 months of my stay here in Florida, I lived in my shop that we rented. It was closed down to the, it was what do they call it, condemned building.
Oh wow.
And we borrowed water from the neighbor and kind of cheated with the little generator, and for a long time we do what we do. We just got to do it.
Yeah.
My girl stayed in that place for 6 months with me. That's pretty tough.
That's love right there.
Yeah, well, there's
Of course, you found her in Kentucky, so that probably wasn't far from how you grew up. No, I was kidding.
Better watch yourself. She'll whoop you.
I know. Those Kentucky girls are tough. We got some of them that go on the road.
She'll jerk a nut in your ass.
I know. So, well, Bill, you're just a genuine guy. I like you so much. I love what you're doing out there. If you get to Daytona, you got to go by Bill's shop, Bling Cycles. Go to blingcycles.com. Give Bill some love that way. And again, if you're looking for a part for your bike, or if you're looking to get a really cool bike built that's not going to break the bank, you too can ride a really cool custom motorcycle, and for a lot less than what you think. So
that's really surprising. The little black one out there, little shovelhead.
Yeah.
Built that guy from scratch for like 15 grand.
15 grand custom bike. There's
no big. It's love.
It's for the love of it. Bill does this, as so many guys do. Just to be able to do it and to be able to share his passion and his art with people. And so hit Bill up. You will be hard pressed to either find a better friend or a better builder in this part of the country. So Bill, thanks so much for coming to the Progressive International Motorcycle Show.
And if anybody rides to Sturgis, to show up at my shop a couple days before.
There you go, man.
Every single year I ride to Sturgis.
So you can ride out there with Bill. A good friend, mutual friend of ours, Justin Lowe, made that trip with you from Atlanta. So,
Oh yeah.
So Justin loves you a lot. So Bill, thanks so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Give Bill some love.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.